What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another exciting episode. So recently I actually just got back from a Texas trip. We went back out to Austin and it was kind of a rough trip. So I don't have a whole lot of footage to show on this time around, but I still have some documentation that we caught some fish. So pretty much in today's video, I'm going to pretty much run through what happened this past Texas trip. So let's get right into today's video. So the first day that we had on the lake, we were there from Monday through Friday, and we wanted just to dedicate fishing one lake, the lake out there. I won't say the name of the lake for others' sake, but we dedicated to fishing this lake because this lake is known for having really big bass. So we were like, all right, this trip we're just gonna focus on this one lake to see if we can't catch a big fish. So day one, we get out there, probably like the first 45 minutes, I catch a fish on probably my favorite lure of all time, the hinkle trout.
I bet he hasn't thrown the manifold before. Or like, yeah, but like actually thrown it after that.
Absolutely not.
No.
Just sitting on it.
Just sit. And well, he already made his money back. There we go, dude. Did I just call it? I said we're gonna catch one soon, dude. Yes, GoPro. Dude, that was perfect. I saw it on it. You two glides.
Yeah.
Fucking hitting it. That's a nice one, dude. Not bad.
Okay, first fish of the trip comes on the hinkle trout. Oh, that's cool. Nice. Look at that.
So yeah, that was like pretty much right out the gate. We had fished that spot last time when we were there in April. We knew that there was some fish around, but it was super dope because I hadn't caught a hinkle trout fish in probably almost 3 years. So seeing that fish come pretty much out of complete nowhere, I saw the fish and I'm like, and I told Phoenix, I'm like, yo, there's a fish behind my bait. I gave it 2 glides, 2 hard glides, went side to side, and I watched this fish just knock it, swung, connected on the fish. It was like a high 5-pounder. So it wasn't anything crazy, but it was a good sign that pretty much right out of the gate, we knew that they were going to eat the big baits this trip around. So after that, we were like, all right, we're pretty stoked. So we went fishing some more after that, and we decided to go fish an area that we hadn't fished before. And we got up there. Phoenix was fishing the DRT K9 in my Mystic Weed color, and he went back to back on these 2 fish.
We called it. That was sick. That was sick as fuck. That was sick as fuck, dude. Dude. Oh my god, that was so sick.
I was in a panic.
I'm like,
I threw my rod into the water.
did you throw it? Oh, dude, this is a little fatty right here.
GoPro, I'm glad you got all of that, dude.
Dude, it came out, and I see this little dark shape. I'm like, that's a fucking fish. I thought it was gonna come off, but it was next to the boat. It just kept gliding.
Dude.
All right, boys. Here's my first fish of the trip. Just a short butterball on the K9, of course.
Wow.
You guys saw it all.
I hope the GoPro got to see that thing eat it.
That
was
is
sick.
That is cool. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Here's another clash fish. Complete opposites. The other one was so fat, this one's just paper thin. Probably, what, like 5 minutes later? That's too funny.
So yeah, that first one that he caught, that was just the dumbest cast to catch. And I don't know if you guys can hear it in the audio, but when he made that cast, he had his line caught up on that rock. And we were kind of just slowly getting back up to that rock. And I told him, like, yo, if you catch one off this rock right now, it's going to be the craziest cast to catch I've ever seen. Sure as shit, get the line off. He works the bait. This little fatty comes flying up out of nowhere. And we're like, there's no way. This thing's going to freaking bite it. So he does that glide, 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 glide right next to the boat. Fish comes up, swirls it, eats it, and we get it into the boat. Probably like a super short, fat, like 4-pounder. That thing was an absolute butterball. And we're like, all right, maybe there are some fat fish up here. Let's see if we can't catch another one. And legit, like, there's pretty much another rock just like a few casts down. He gets another one that was kind of the complete opposite, like he says in the video. Probably like, I don't know, a 3.5-pounder or whatever, just because it was so skinny. It was crazy to see the difference between two rocks, two fish. One was super fat and the other one was super skinny. So it seemed like some of the fish got the memo that it was going to be fall coming up soon, and some of the fish were still in that summertime super skinny phase. Whatever it was kind of cool to see him get those double back-to-back fish. So then we fished a bit more after that, and when we were out there, we ran into our buddy Grant Langmore and our other buddy Alan Bell, both two absolute sticks on that specific lake that we were fishing. And we talked, we part ways, and like, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes later, we get a call from Grant like, yo, you got a scale? And you never want to hear that because that means they caught a big one. And sure as shit, Grant comes back down and he has like a 9.5-pounder that he caught on the Hinkle Shad. So kid is just an absolute stick out there, and he always will be. So he caught a 9.5, and we're like, holy crap, like, it's going on. Like, they're going to be chewing. We're going to get a shot at a freaking big one this trip. So we fished for the rest of that evening and nothing. And we had dinner. Thank you again, Alan Bell, for dinner. But we were just talking fishing and Austin and all the whole thing. And after dinner, we went to a spot that our buddy Jared recommended that we go try and fish. And that night, I don't even remember what time it was, but it was probably like 9 o'clock-ish, 9:30-ish. And I caught a fish on the Top Hook Rising Sun. It was at night. I didn't bring the right lighting equipment to film it, but here's just a quick little like Instagram reel of it.
That's a nice one.
That's a good fish.
All right. First night here. Get on.
All right. Thanks for biting, buddy.
So yeah, that was a high 6-pounder, super fat, nice, healthy fish. Came on the Rising Sun. That bite was just absolutely ridiculous. Fired one as far as I could. Let it sink down to the bottom. Reeling it, and just a thump. One thump, and I'm like, oh, snap. Like, my bait's gone. And I reel, and I'm like, oh, the fish has it. Reel, swing, and we got that fish. It fought really, really hard. I mean, it was on pretty much the end of my cast. It was just such a dope fish. So, got that one in, and that was the end of day one. Like, we caught 4 swimbait fish in the first day. So, pretty much me and Phoenix were like, bro, we're going to freaking jack them. Well, the next 3 days, we didn't jack them. This is pretty much all we got for the next 3 days.
gonna fit in the net? Oh my god. Oh my god.
There's actually no way. He's gonna fucking try it.
Dude, you got a fucking giant. Dude, look how big it is.
Damn, he's so fun.
Oh, it's so random, dude. It's so random. That's a baby.
The monster.
Oh, the kid.
That's not a pleasant fucking.
No, dude. That's...
All right, guys.
This is not what I was expecting.
You got it,
This
dude?
thing is heavy.
Dude, you have it?
I don't know if I do.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, this thing is so heavy, dude.
Dude,
This thing is so heavy.
dude.
Oh my god. Look at this thing.
Hold it right there, dude.
Are you kidding me? Dude, this thing has to be like 30 pounds. Look at it. This thing is so heavy.
Dude, that's the tank.
Oh my god. Look at this thing. On the canine, it crushed it.
Dude. All right, we'll snap some pictures. Oh my god. Well,
All right, we're gonna take one look at her, and then we're gonna get her out of here. Biggest striper of my life,
yeah, I'd say.
21 pounder. Ate the canine on some boulders. Freaked me out. Let's get her out of here. Oh. Oh, jeez. I think I'm releasing a muskie right now, dude.
That's a tank. Dude, what in the nation?
Nice, dude, nice. Let's go get a big bass now.
Okay.
You're fine. You're bad. You got him? You got him. Dude, I thought I was gonna hook two. You see that second one come up for it?
Holy shit.
Dude, the second one tried to grab it, dude.
Seriously?
Yeah. Crushed that thing.
So that first fish that I had, that was like, I don't know, a 25, 30 pound striper that ate the hinkle. It bent out the quad hook that I had. I mean, it absolutely destroyed that 1/0 quad. And these quads are pretty hard to straighten out, but that one, that was just a gnarly fish. I had batten down drag like I normally do on largemouth fishing, but I just couldn't move it. When I first hooked that fish, I honestly thought it was a double digit, and then it swirled like a swirl that I'd never seen, and then I thought it was a teener, and then as soon as it started heading out to deeper water, I was like, oh, it's a striper. So that fish came off, we went back up, we fished a little bit, didn't catch anything, came back down, and then that's when Phoenix ended up catching a nice striper himself, a 21 pounder on the canine. So that was Tuesday, and then Wednesday was definitely the most brutal day that we had. It just never really worked out. Phoenix dumped a giant, snapped off the Mystic Weed, which kind of sucked. He snapped off another bait, and he just wasn't having the day. So Wednesday was definitely a bust. We went back out Thursday. He caught a small one out of a dock on the canine, and then it was just dead. It wasn't really good. The fish just weren't acting right. They were just in a funk. It just seemed super weird. Friday, we didn't really get a whole lot of time to fish on Friday because I blew a bearing on the trailer, which took stupid long amounts of time to actually fix because the bearing pretty much exploded on the shaft of the axle and it was just on there super tight. We had to spend like 10 hours just trying to hammer the shit off. Like, it was bad. So on Friday, we didn't get a whole lot of time to fish. We only had maybe like 4 hours to fish, but I did catch one other fish. The last fish on the trip came on the hinkle trout.
What happened? She came out of nowhere and just fucking crushed it, man.
Dude, nice job. Nice.
Okay, beautiful fish. 6 something.
So yeah, that fish was sick. It bit right on the corner of the dock. I remember literally watching my bait the entire time. I glid twice hard to come out of that dock to look like a bait fish like getting away. I remember seeing this fish literally come out and just crush it full speed right next to the boat. I swung, luckily connected. As soon as I hit it, I literally thought it was like an 8-pounder. Big head, long body. I was like, oh, dude, this is our 8-pounder. But it was maybe like a 6 something. Didn't even weigh it because we were like, all right, we don't have a whole lot of time to mess around. We're losing light. Let's like keep fishing. But that was it. That was basically the end of the trip. There was definitely some things that we missed that we probably could have capitalized on. Like that last night we were fishing. We never thought about fishing shallow at night because it seemed like the bluegill actually moved up at night. We didn't really see any bluegill during the day, but at night, that last night, we pulled up to a dock and there's like hundreds of bluegill. We pulled up right next to the ramp. There's hundreds of bluegill. Phoenix misses 2 fish on the K9, and so we were kind of kicking ourselves like, damn, like, of course, like we didn't try everything to figure out whether or not those fish were in different locations at different times. And it was unfortunate, but you kind of just learn. You only have 5 days to figure out a body of water that's pretty new to you. And it was a nice challenge. Luckily enough, I was able to catch a couple fish. Phoenix had it definitely the most rough. I mean, he caught a couple, but it definitely wasn't the size of fish that we were out there looking for. But that's how swimbait fishing goes. Sometimes it's an absolute grind. Sometimes it's wide open. You just never know with this stuff. But other than that, thank you guys ever so much for watching. And as always, go out there and chase your dreams.